So should the incoming administration revive the Philippines' nuclear energy program?
Triple-digit jumps on some of their electric bills.
With temperatures rising, so are people's ComEd bill.
And for the month of July, the crude oil prices are now 8% on the higher side.
Electricity bills are crushing us. At 11 pesos 29 centavos per kilowatt hour, we're paying triple what Malaysians do, just 2 pesos 72 centavos, thanks to their government subsidies. Imagine your bill slashed by 2/3. More money for groceries, school supplies, or that weekend getaway. High electricity costs drive up everything: rice, transport, even Wi-Fi. We're stretched thin, but the solution is right beneath our feet. Geothermal energy, born from our volcanic islands, could transform our lives. It's clean, reliable, and ours. No imports needed. Picture affordable power fueling your home, growing your business, and even powering the AI revolution. As Filipinos, we're sitting on a geothermal goldmine, and it's time to unleash it. Join me to see how this power can light up our lives for less. We live on the Pacific Ring of Fire, a fiery belt of 24 active volcanoes and countless geothermal fields. This isn't just geography, it's our edge. The Philippines ranks third globally in geothermal energy, producing 1,952 megawatts in 2023, behind only the United States and Indonesia. Compare that to China, with a mere 27.78 megawatts despite its massive energy needs. Our journey began in 1979 with the Tiwi Geothermal Power Plant in Albay, a bold step that turned Earth steam into electricity. Since then, we've built giants like Makiling-Banahaw in Laguna and Batangas, and Bacon-Manito in Bicol, powering 14.6% of our grid. These plants are proof of our ingenuity, but we've only tapped half our potential. Let's talk about the elephant in the room: our electricity bills. In 2023, we paid 11.29 pesos per kilowatt hour, one of the highest rates in Southeast Asia. Malaysia's at 2.72 pesos, Thailand's at 7.07, Indonesia's at 5.12, and Vietnam's at 4.34. Only Singapore pays more at 13.01 pesos, but their incomes soften the blow. Why are we hit so hard? Over 60% of our energy comes from imported coal and oil, tied to global price swings and a weak peso. Malaysia's government subsidizes electricity, keeping costs low and goods affordable. If we had their rates, a 3,000 peso bill could drop to 1,000 pesos, freeing up cash for essentials. High electricity ripples through everything: higher food prices, struggling sari-sari stores, even pricier internet. Of course, the opposite is also true. Lower electricity means lower cost of goods. This is because the cost to create those goods is lower, giving manufacturers more room to lower their prices.
You cannot have prosperity without energy. It doesn't matter what side of the political fence you are, how progressive or how conservative. Energy is the core anchor to prosperity.
And you asked specifically, what executive order is going to help lower prices? All of the stuff that we've done on energy, to explore more energy reserves, to develop more energy resources in the United States of America.
If you really cared for poor people and you wanted their lives to improve, the best thing you could possibly do, as far as I can tell, is to drive energy costs down to the lowest possible level.
Simply put, lower electricity costs means people getting out of poverty. And who wouldn't want a cheaper electricity? Geothermal energy is our ticket out. Unlike coal, it's local and stable, unaffected by global markets. It uses heat from the Earth's core to spin turbines, producing power day and night, rain or shine. Experts estimate we have 4,064 megawatts of untapped geothermal potential, more than double our current 1,952 megawatts. Let's break it down. Our current capacity generates about 13.3 million megawatt hours yearly. 1,952 megawatts times 8,760 hours times 0.8 capacity factor. At 4,064 megawatts, we'd hit 28.5 million megawatt hours, enough to power 3.5 million more homes, assuming 4,200 kilowatt hours per household annually. What does this mean for us? Replacing 2,112 megawatts of coal with geothermal could save billions of pesos. Geothermal's cost is about $0.07 per kilowatt hour, compared to coal's $0.1. That's a $0.03 saving per kilowatt hour. For the extra 15.2 million megawatt hours from 2,112 megawatts, we'd save $456 million annually, 25.4 billion pesos, at 55 pesos per dollar. To put that in perspective, the 2025 National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Fund Calamity Fund is 21 billion Philippine pesos, used to respond to typhoons, floods, and earthquakes that hit us hard every year. That 25.4 billion Philippine pesos from geothermal savings exceeds the entire calamity fund by over 20%. Imagine what it could do. It could fully fund disaster recovery for multiple storms, rebuild homes in places like Bicol or Visayas, or invest in better early warning systems to save lives. You know, a better flood control project that actually works. We've all seen the devastation from typhoons like Bising or Danas. These savings could mean faster relief, stronger communities, and fewer families left homeless. And this is just from maximizing geothermal energy alone. If we fully tap other renewables like solar, hydro, and wind, the savings could be even greater, bolstering our resilience against climate change and easing the financial strain on every Filipino household. Spread across our 24 million households, that's over 1,000 pesos saved per family yearly. Cheaper electricity means cheaper everything, from pandesal to jeepney fares, lifting the burden off every Juan and Maria. Relying on imported fuels makes us vulnerable. When oil prices spike or the peso dips, our bills soar. Geothermal is our shield. It's 100% local, tapped from our own soil. Geothermal is the key to establishing a stable energy baseload suited to the constant yet dynamic power needs of the Philippines' developing economy, says the Energy Development Corporation, EDC, a leading geothermal player in the Philippines. With energy demand growing, geothermal offers stability. Unlike China, which leans heavily on coal, 70% of its mix, our geothermal strength reduces our exposure to global shocks, ensuring energy security for our growing nation. Geothermal isn't just about lights. It's about powering our future. The rise of artificial intelligence demands massive energy for data centers. The International Energy Agency notes that data centers could consume 1,000 terawatt-hours globally by 2026, rivaling Japan's entire grid. In the Philippines, AI-driven industries like tech startups and digital services are booming. Geothermal's stable, 24/7 power is perfect for these energy-hungry hubs, unlike intermittent solar or wind. Imagine data centers in Batangas or Leyte, powered by geothermal, creating high-tech jobs and positioning us as an AI hub in Southeast Asia. This could spark growth in tech education, software development, and even tourism around geothermal sites. Geothermal plants are economic engines. The Tiwi plant in Albay employs hundreds, from engineers to technicians, boosting local businesses like eateries and transport. Bacon-Manito in Bicol and Tonganan in Leyte have funded schools and roads, uplifting rural areas. Expanding to 4,064 megawatts could create thousands more jobs, especially in regions like Mindanao, where poverty rates hover at 20%. These aren't just jobs, they're lifelines for communities. Plus, geothermal sites often attract ecotourism, drawing visitors to see sustainable energy in action. What could new jobs and infrastructure mean for your town? Climate change hits us hard. Stronger typhoons, rising seas, hotter days. Our goal to cut emissions by 75% by 2030 is ambitious, but geothermal is our ace. Since 1971, our plants have avoided 57 million tons of CO2, equivalent to removing millions of cars. Expanding to 4,064 megawatts could avoid another 30 million tons over decades, with geothermal emitting 97% less sulfur and 99% less CO2 than coal. Geothermal energy is a largely untapped resource that does not produce significant CO2 emissions, notes a 2003 Science Direct study. Cleaner air means healthier families and safer islands for our kids. The government is all in, The Renewable Energy Act of 2008 offers tax holidays, duty-free imports, and a feed-in tariff program. Since 2020, 100% foreign ownership is allowed for large projects, attracting billions in investments. The Department of Energy, DOE, targets 1,371 megawatts more by 2030, aiming for a total of 3,200 megawatts, rivaling the US. In July 2024, EDC opened a new binary plant in Manito, Albay, using brine to boost output. But challenges remain. Geothermal plants cost $2 to $4 million per megawatt, 11 to 22 billion pesos for a 100 megawatt facility. Drilling in hard rock is slow and pricey, averaging 125 feet per day. Drilling efficiency and system performance are gradually improving, but upfront costs are a barrier, says a 2024 SPER research report. Community concerns about land use also slow projects. Yet, with royalties to local groups and better regulations, we're addressing these hurdles. Malaysia's low rates come from heavy subsidies and a gas-rich economy, but their renewable share is only 24.6% compared to our 22%. If we matched their 2.72 pesos per kilowatt hour, a family using 200 kilowatt hours monthly could save 1,714 pesos, over 20,000 pesos yearly. That's a new phone, school fees, or a family vacation. But subsidies aren't our style. Geothermal is. Unlike Malaysia's gas reliance, our geothermal push ensures long-term sustainability and independence. Compared to China's coal-heavy grid, our geothermal edge makes us a model for clean energy in Asia. The Department of Energy's National Renewable Energy Program aims for 35% renewables by 2030 and 50% by 2040. Geothermal will lead with projects like 48 megawatts starting in 2024 and 381 megawatts in feasibility studies. The Philippines is a prime example of how to effectively harness geothermal resources, says the International Renewable Energy Agency. With energy demand growing 6% annually, geothermal stability is crucial. By 2050, Southeast Asia's geothermal output could hit 276 million megawatt hours, and we're poised to lead. As Filipinos, we can shape this future. Support green policies, talk to your local leaders, vote for sustainability, save energy at home. Together, we can push for more geothermal plants, lower bills, and a thriving economy. Let's not just dream of a cheaper, greener Philippines. Let's build it. Geothermal energy is more than a resource. It's our path to self-reliance. It's cheaper bills, new jobs, and a cleaner home for our kids. We're not just powering homes, we're powering dreams of AI-driven innovation, vibrant communities, and a sustainable nation. Let's harness the power beneath our feet and show the world what Filipinos can do. If this story moved you, hit that like button, drop a comment, and subscribe for more tales of our amazing nation. Together, let's keep our innovative spirit alive. Salamat, and see you in the next one.